Hi, I'm Allison Trimble with Willfully Guided Horsemanship. Ryan Dahl submitted this question. She said, Allison, my horse has a hard time picking up his lead consistently when I ask him. And what would I do to kind of fix this? Or what are the steps I go about to even ask my horse to pick up the correct lead? This is a great question. Ryan's actually a young lady that grew up in my hometown and rode my horse Baleen after I did. And when she got her first horse red, she was having a lot of trouble picking up, especially the right lead. And we kind of went through this and I helped her understand some of the mechanics of a lead departure and a lead in general, and it really helped her. So I'm glad that Ryan submitted this question. There are two things that you're going to do with your body to ask your horse to pick up the correct lead. I think it's important first to understand the mechanics of a lead. A lot of people believe that a lead is determined by your front leg and one of the front legs reaching further forward than the other. For example, if your horse is on the right lead, their right leg is going to be reaching further forward, and that's how you can visually see it. And that is true. Both right legs are going to be reaching further forward. But what actually causes the lead to be determined is which hind leg, your driver leg, which leg reaches forward first. That's actually how you're going to ask your horse to reach forward and get the correct lead. So the way that I'm going to get that is I'm going to use my outside leg here, and I'm going to move it back in the position to move my horse's hip forward and over. And I'm going to ask my horse to move his hip this direction and reach forward with this leg. So I'm going to say, I'm going to ask you to move away from my left leg, and I want you to reach forward and away with your hind right leg. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to keep this shoulder cleared out of the way, because I want there to be room for this leg to reach forward. So as I walk forward to go take my right lead here, I'm going to push my horse's hip in, and I'm going to block and move his shoulder over here to the left, and then I'm going to ask him to take his lead departure. So as you can see when I'm loping around here, my horse's inside right leg is reaching further forward, as well as his front right leg. And I can look down here and see that this leg is just reaching subtly forward. Well, so in reverse, if I'm going to ask my horse to pick up the left lead, I'm going to push my right leg back, and I'm going to ask him to move his left hip forward. I'm going to use my reins to keep his shoulders cleared out over here to the right. And I'm going to ask him to lope off. And you can see here as I'm loping this direction, my horse's inside left legs are reaching forward more than his outside right leg. So I can see here that this shoulder is moving further forward. Well, okay. So the next thing that I think is one of the biggest problems with people getting a horse to be consistently leaded is that they're not really sure when their horse is on the correct lead, and then they're not telling their horse, that isn't the lead that I wanted, if they give them the incorrect response. So what I mean is, if I go lope off here and I let my horse go around, say, half the circle on an incorrect lead, what I'm actually telling him is, good boy, that's the lead I wanted. And what I actually want to do is say, nope, that wasn't the lead I wanted, and I'm going to keep trying until I get the correct lead, and then I'm going to say, good boy. So I'll give you an example here. If I'm going to the right, and I'm going to actually have him pick up his counter-canter here. So if I go here, and I wanted my right lead, but he picks up his left lead, if I go this far around the circle before I look down and go, this leg's reaching further forward, and then I go, shoot, and I go start him off again, well, it's very likely he's going to do the same thing, because what I've told him for that amount of time is, good job, that's the lead I wanted you to pick up. So what I'm going to do, actually, if he picks up the incorrect lead here, is if I go a couple of strides, I'm going to shut him down and say, nope, that wasn't what I wanted. Incorrect lead again, nope, not what I wanted. And then I'm going to say, good boy, that's the lead I wanted. Well, you know, we talk a lot about pressure and release and the understanding in horses, and that's probably the most important part. You can probably do everything wrong and still get your horse to pick up the lead when you ask him to tap him on this side and ask him to pick up his lead, and if you release him when he does it, he's going to learn to pick up his lead that way. So it's probably the most important that you recognize if he's on the correct lead and stop him if he's not. So the two things you're going to do with your body is you're going to push your horse's hip forward and away from you while blocking their shoulder to the outside. And the last thing is you're going to remember to shut him down when he doesn't have the correct lead and keep trying until he gets the right one and give him a good reward when he does. Really want to thank Ryan for submitting this question. It's a great question. If you have any questions or you'd like some more information on our program, please visit www.willfullyguided.com. And remember, enjoy your horses.